At a certain point, one-on-one stops being a growth lever, not because it isn't valuable, but because it creates repetition, calendar pressure, and a constant mental load. If you're at the stage where things are working, but they still feel heavier than they should, this video is for you. Group programs can solve all of these problems, but only when they're designed to replace work, not just sit alongside everything else. What I want to talk to you about here is why so many people end up more stretched after adding a group program to their business, and what actually needs to change for a group program to simplify your business rather than complicate it. One-on-one work has a few built-in limits. Your income is tied directly to your availability. You repeat the same thinking, advice, and conversations over and over again to Sarah on Monday, Mark on Tuesday, and your calendar dictates your capacity, both mentally and physically, and you end up emotionally exhausted. For a long time, that's fine, but eventually the repetition becomes draining and the lack of leverage sort of starts to show, and you tire of that model. And this isn't necessarily burnout, but you hit a structural ceiling where you can't grow. Now, a well-designed group program changes three things in this. The one-to-many delivery model instead of repeating the same work over and over again. A clear structure so clients move through a defined pathway, and leverage where your experience compounds instead of resets every week having to repeat it. Done properly, groups reduce repetition and decision making. They create space, not more work. But that only happens under one condition. The biggest mistake I see is this: people add group programs on top of one-on-one and then just leave it there indefinitely. Now, what this usually looks like is a group running alongside a full one-on-one diary. So it's just something else you have to think about. Then you have multiple offers open at once, and you're constantly switching between delivery modes. And your clients have too many options to choose from and they don't know what to choose. So your group ends up being second rate. Now, what happens is predictable. The group doesn't get the attention it needs to grow. Your one-on-one never reduces. Complexity increases, your mental load goes up, not down, and at that point, the group just feels like another thing to manage, not the solution and not the simplicity you were probably looking for. Simplification actually requires discipline. For a group program to work, it actually has to replace something. Now, what that means is deciding what the group is taking over from one-on-one. Committing to one core program and focus, and letting go of all optionality for clients, which confuses them. Then you actually have to allow time for the system to bed in. And this is the part people avoid, not because it's hard, because it requires commitment. You can't half build a calm business. You have to decide what the center of the business is. And this isn't about taking a massive risk or burning all your bridges before you got it working, but it is about refinement. So you know a group program model is the right long-term model for you. What you're deciding now is whether you're going to build one properly or keep everything running indefinitely and never go all in on what you really want to create. I find groups work best when they're treated as the core structure of the business, not an experiment running in parallel that never gets your full focus. That's what creates the calm, that's what removes the decision fatigue, and that's what allows you to actually simplify your business over time. Group programs don't reduce pressure by default. They reduce pressure when they replace work, not add to it. And the moment you commit to one clear program and let it become the center, the whole business starts to feel lighter. Not straight away, but steadily as you give that more of your focus. This is the kind of thinking and structure I help you build inside my mentorship program, Amplify. We build one clear group program you can commit to long term without making it really, really complex and ending up with 10 offers you don't know how to sell. So if you want support doing this properly, you'll find all the details below.